Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here. And if you watched my Rockfin exclusive today, then you know we did a watch along with a large portion of the big tech hearings. And depending on which political side you might lean, right? Or if you're stuck in this left-right matrix, you're stuck buying two separate narratives, okay? One, big tech is bad. They're censoring conservatives. They're censoring the Hunter Biden story. Okay? Now, that is a partial truth, a very partial truth that is not examining what actually happened at these hearings. Okay? And then the other side of this was a sham hearing, and big tech is the best thing since breakfast. This never should have happened, and the whole thing is a partisan lie. What? Hold on one second. We want to just maybe get that out of there. I hate that. It just bothers me. I guess we're just going to have a little flicker, which I can't stand in the corners. But I watched the rest of it, and it got worse. So what I want to talk about out of the gates, before we get to the questions and comments and get them in, we are going to do the AMA, right? Let's bring it back a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, the narratives they pushed were ridiculous. So let's start at the opener. And the side that we're supposed to be like, yeah, let's go. They're going to expose big tech. No one asked a real question, in my opinion. Even Ted Cruz and Mike Lee, who are going to be kind of like portrayed as the ones that really went for the jugular, they were embarrassing. They kept it into this conservative thing when, I mean, first of all, they're encouraging more censorship. Nobody was like, you should just stop censoring altogether. The opener, they talked about an official from the Chinese CCP, their Communist Party, okay, saying that it was actually the U.S. military that started COVID 1984. And we've discussed that. We've said, look, nation-state officials have actually said this is a bioweapon. That's something we have to look at. Why would we want that censored? Yet from the very beginning, this is set with a narrative of, we need to censor more. You're just not censoring what we like. And you have to let what we like out. Now, let's stop the censorship altogether. And it was just the weirdest thing because, all right, you still had the Russian narrative being pushed. That's huge, right? So throughout this, there were actually some people who didn't even ask any questions. Okay, and there were a bunch of them virtual, and then the mask signaling. I mean, we truly are in the Twilight Zone. So a lot of them kept going with, like Blumenthal, they went with the Russian narrative, right? He did ask like some ridiculous questions, but they ended up defending big tech. Now, there were a couple times where Jack Dorsey, number one, had to say that they retracted the fact that they said it was hacked materials, because everybody knows now not only was it not hacked materials, but the Department of Justice has had this. They've had the laptop. Okay? Period. So think about that. Think about the impeachment. They had it during the impeachment. All this stuff. I mean, it's incredible to me that this is happening. All right, so while that's going on in the same hearing, even after Jack Dorsey, and I believe Zuckerberg too, were asked if there was any evidence Russia had anything to do with this, there were certain people that saying this was a Russian disinformation act, and they would add suspected into the beginning, right? I don't want the fact checkers to get me. What? Sometimes they wouldn't add suspected, by the way. Like Russian disinformation campaign. Misinformation campaign. They were saying this is a partisan hearing. They were defending big tech. Now, what no one said was when they were asked about the appeals process, they all said, oh, no, everybody gets an appeal. That's bullshit. We've seen it. We've seen it. So I'm actually surprised that QAnon was not mentioned more, but conspiracy theories were, and Zuckerberg named QAnon by name, saying taking them down more and more conspiracy theories They brought in the militia plot to get the governor, which was a total, again, FBI setup. And then you even had the local sheriff saying, well, it could have just been a citizen's arrest, right? There's a lot of information that's being suppressed there. But now everybody's a right-wing terrorist, militias, and they're calling, again, those people were calling for more censorship. They were calling for more censorship. And we're going to briefly go over some of the latest developments in the Biden case, but it looks like now we actually have an official picture that's censored, and there's some other ones out there of him, you know, with his Johnny Wang dangle out with a 14-year-old girl in the background, who is apparently, allegedly, his niece. We're not going to show anything graphic, but the Gateway Pundit did publish this article where they have the actual text messages where this is also referenced. Right? This is all actual evidence. No one, in fact, again, because Twitter did what they did, they have to reverse it. But they still want to punish the New York Post, and they want to make them take down their original tweet. And they're like, well, they could tweet out the same exact thing afterwards, but you got to bend the knee first. Okay? And no one asks Sundar Pichai. It's like, well, Sundar, you know, the number one search engine in the world is Google. The number two search engine in the world is YouTube. It's also the number one video platform in the world. Google Ads is the number one way to get revenue. It's the number one way to compete in a business. Android is probably on more devices and the largest operating system in the world. You don't have a monopoly? Oh, you also work with the military-industrial complex, national intelligence, and NASA in quantum computing and AI. Oh, you're not a monopoly. You know, that's why Klobuchar is a wolf in sheep's clothing. She's terrible. She was partisan and awful, and, you know, she's saying there is no conservative bias. It's a bias against truth. It doesn't matter if you're conservative or liberal, period. Although, you know, Mike Lee was trying to get him to name one. So you had Russia. You had Zionist also being, you know, Zionist, which is a political term, which modern day Zionism, when I look at that, I look at it in the same perspective and speak of it in the same perspective as a neocon philosophy of people in Israel, okay, that are Israel firsters no matter what, and also happen to be very pro-war, full spectrum dominance. The same way in America, there are Americans here that don't give a flying whatever, and they're all about full spectrum dominance in the Middle East. And those things align together. But, you know, they start talking about political leaders in other countries, and Jack Dorsey says, well, that's just saber rattling. No, everything is selective enforcement. I'm done with it. It's all selective enforcement. And the Orwellian nature of Dorsey himself saying by censoring it brings more people into the platform, it makes them feel more free and open. I mean, watching this thing, everything is the upside down. Everything is the upside mother trucking down. That's how I feel about it, guys. You know, did you see something different? Did I miss something? We had the Russian propaganda. We had, you can't say Zionist, right? They did the Holocaust denial thing. They were demanding people that question the Holocaust, they get taken down. I want more speech. I don't want less speech. Let me say it again. I want more speech. I don't want less speech. I want people that can just spout off at the most ridiculous thing with the worst ideas ever, and then we can counter that with real ideas and real evidence. Because the more they take away from us, okay, the more dangerous it all becomes. And again, I wanted to vomit when I saw some of these literally saying this was a witch hunt on big tech. And I mean, just so people understand, okay, just so you get it. Take a look at some of these headlines, okay? Big tech Senate hearing, winners and losers. 2 words describe the Senate's latest big tech hearing: worthless and petty. See? CNN, of course. Okay? Let's go to the view all. Let me see. Am I now over there? Thumbs up, subscribe, and share, by the way, guys. Let's see. Winners and losers. let's see, get grilled about Section 230. Yeah, and none of them want Section 230 taken away in any way, shape, or form. And they don't want real reform on that either. They ask the stupidest questions. I would have had these guys fucking lunch. I mean, come on. All right? A big tech hearing is pointless and performative as every other one. Yes, we're going to make changes. We're going to do big things. That's actually true. Okay? Stupid thing about, Zuckerberg's technical difficulties. It isn't going to go anywhere. It's not going to lead anywhere. That's absolutely true. It was a sham. It's a sham hearing. Okay? And they can just say things like this are Russian disinformation. So this picture is him exposing himself. That's the alleged family member and 14-year-old girl who's apparently his niece in the background. Okay? Okay? There's no controversy about my son. That's a lie. That's a flat lie because the president has nothing to run on. It's class. They just deny it and then say it's a misinformation campaign. I mean, watch. Watch what Sleepy Joe has to say.
Okay, Mr. Biden, if I can.
Sure.
Questions of controversy continue today about Hunter Biden, your son's...
There is no controversy about my son. It's all a lie. It's a flat lie because the president has nothing else to run on. If you notice, while American people are talking about what's happening to their families, he has no plan. In the debate, he has no plan. Everything from the Wall Street Journal over every other major news outlet has said what he's saying is simply not true about my son. But it's classic Trump. Classic Trump. And because he doesn't want to talk about how manufacturing has gone into recession, how our economy's in a hole, how we're approaching a bleak winter. It's estimated 200,000 more people will die of COVID if we don't act more rapidly in terms of dealing with rational basis of social distancing, wearing masks, etc. And what's he do? He's going around the country holding these great spreaders of more virus. I mean, so he has nothing to say.
He's like, I don't want anybody to know how little support I really have. I want to promote fear. I want to say these are super spreader events, even though there haven't been any massive amounts of hospitalizations or what? Or deaths originating from any of these events. Everybody tried Herman Cain. Herman Cain could have got it from anywhere. Maybe he got it there. And Herman Cain beat cancer a decade before, and it was recurring. Okay? I'm just saying, he was also in his 70s, late 70s. But that's a whole separate issue, other than the fact that, again, they just deny reality, including Biden himself. Take a look. And here's the thing. These are the text messages. They're here. Tell people I'm sexually inappropriate with her daughter. He's worried about, again. Or my mom tells him things like I'm sexually, inappropriate with the children. So, everybody want to say that, that this pedo stuff, listen, I'm not, and there she is in the background, by the way. And there he is right there. Okay? Anybody who wants to say, that there's nothing on this laptop and there's no scandal, that's bullshit. It's straight bullshit. And it's criminal. And it's not the first time. They've been censoring a lot of things. Go check out my films. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order to Find, and Shade the Motion Picture are free right now, right here. You can get them in the playlist section. Rockfin. Go sign up for the free account right now. Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. I go live. We do it live. Look, watch. We're going to refresh this for people so people can check it out. Okay? And there it is right there, the big tech hearings. You can watch the watch along. We did it for, I think, close to an hour. Maybe an hour. We did it close to an hour, and it was tough to watch. But if you want my live reaction to some of the things that were said in the inverted reality that was present, it's still free. Tomorrow I'll be making it premium. But if you're premium, you get a ton of bonus content, stuff you can't find anywhere else. These shows, again, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m., exclusively here on Rockfin, okay? So make sure you check that out when they are live, and then make sure you're subscribed and you're sharing the Burmese Brigade videos with everybody out there. If you want to support me financially, The way to do it is down below. $5, $10, $15. Large donors, you do mean the world to me, 100%. And we're going to use it as a super chat mechanism. In fact, we did this the other night. Let's see if there's any new ones in there. James Swaybank did donate 10 and says, keep on trucking, friend. Thank you. Larissa, thank you. She says, keep being you. Congratulations on the move. Couldn't do it without you. I couldn't have moved without you guys. And Gritch, we did read this one. Again, yeah, you know how I feel about the censorship. And, of course, Gritch, one of the major Burmese brigaders and supporters of this program. Couldn't do it without people like Gritch. Let's do it, because we do it live. Let's see. It's always a Berg. Where do we start here on that? I don't even know what that is. Jack Dorsey is a Berg. Sunday Pichai is a Berg. No, there's a Zuckerberg. I like to call him Zucker Freak. John Doe, Jason Burmis is the bomb. Then we got some emoji action. Jason, I follow a lot of soothsayers like yourself. Oh, I'm a soothsayer. When I hear what's happening and what may lie ahead, I want to know solutions. When I hear of chaos and a dark winter, by the way, you notice how Biden said bleak winter on that one, wanted to change it. It makes me want to prepare somehow. Do you follow or recommend any preparers? You recently moved west. Have you done a state-by-state COVID response comparison? Or have a resource that sheds light on this? It's hard to come by, and I want to be free without learning Swedish. Apologies for the off-topic AMA. More on topic. Are you really a believer in the theory that Facebook is really DARPA's lifelong dream? Listen, whether it started as a DARPA program or not, and I don't think I've ever said that it started as a DARPA program. If you don't think it's been harnessed by intelligence, again, look up Hepting versus AT&T when they were putting the servers, splitting off information in all the major telecom companies. That was just the beginning. Okay? So no matter what, it is DARPA's lifelong dream. As far as a state-by-state comparison COVID, yes, we did that. And we did that with the Burmese Brigade out there. Thank you. So I'm not a soothsayer. So I didn't just up and move my family to Iowa. I started in New Hampshire in July from the East Coast. I actually was going there to visit the Jackmans. I ended up going like the day after Ghislaine Maxwell ended up getting arrested. So we went to the Ghislaine compound and, did our thing there. It was really just weird timing. But I went all the way from the live free or die state to South Dakota and then back around. And out of the states there, I thought that Missouri was really good. Everywhere was better than New York, I'll say that. There were parts of Ohio I liked too, but Missouri I really liked. I really liked Iowa, or I wouldn't have moved here. And Iowa, even though I'm on the border of Illinois and the Quad Cities, I think their response has been amazing. In South Dakota as well. Like when I was at a park, go watch my videos from the park. Go watch my videos from Iowa at a sporting event. I'm going to sporting events here. I'm not wearing a mask when I get coffee. You see this right here? It's around my neck because I never know where I'm going. Like today, I'm going to have to hack this bad boy to make it into the webcam I wanted. But I wanted just a little small mirrorless to use as a webcam. And it's so old that even the hack software is kind of hard to come by. I'm going to torrent away. It's a GF3. But anyway, I went to the camera shop today. No one's wearing a mask. But then when I was at the computer shops, like 7 of them, I'd say the first few, they were masked up. And, I hate it, but it's, part of, even at the MMA event, if I wanted to get up to get a beer, mask up. And basically I don't go to restaurants and stuff that make you do that. The ones that don't make you do that are the ones that get, me and my family's repeat business here, and they will continue to get my repeat business. So my other plan is, yes, go to one of those states, surround yourself with a good community, know where your limits are. And I keep telling people that you're going to have to storm your city halls. You're going to have to storm your local Congress and Senate hearings. This is it. You're going to have to demand your representatives represent you and not the predator class. Good old democracy in a constitutional republic. I'm not calling for violence. I'm not calling for riots. I'm not calling for people to light fires. I'm calling for the people's voices to be heard and these absurd executive orders to be gone. One of the things that wasn't really discussed again at these hearings today was the medical martial law all over these platforms. Okay? The medical martial law that is openly suppressing real information about solutions to many things. Let's just say it that way. Let's see. Remember, we used the GoFundMe as the super chat because this is probably going to jump really soon. Okay. Good evening, Karen. Jack committed perjury. I mean, come on. It was ridiculous. Yeah, he said no when he was asked whether or not they could, what is it? Somehow change the outcome of an election, influence an election. And he said no. And like, if that's the case, then why are we even here? What's going on here? It's all about more censorship. It was call for more censorship. Big tech wants to get regulated. The Zuck couldn't log in conveniently. Yeah, the Zuck. Zuck implicated in Hunter leak. Is that even true? Is Zuck actually a robot? What up? What up there, listen, Jess? What's happening in Burmese Brigade? What up, Gritch? Orange Man bad, blah, 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 blah. Russia, election day censorship. That's what happened. It was tough. It was a tough one. But again, it was conspiracy theories. They did so much stuff. It wasn't just that. Okay? I do smoke a lot of weed, but Zuck and Dorsey remind of the trench coat dude in Grandma's Boy. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The guy who wants to be like all matrixed out. Like the main villain weirdo. I've been sitting on Rockfin waiting for you all. Oh, you're over in the Rockfin over there too? Well, that's cool. Cool. Yeah, no, we're over. You do join the live stream during the day. And again, exclusive. I didn't post anything of that on the air today on YouTube. So you're getting a lot of exclusive content over there on Rockfin these days. Mr. Gritch. Good evening, Gritch. Doom. Hey there, MF Doom. Good evening. The media is as important of a tool for the globalist as globalization. They can't get rid of the media for now. Hey, Brian, Karen, TJ, and Mr. Gritch, what up? Lots of hellos. Hello, fam. Let's see. Zuckerberg is an alien or droid. Awesome. Hey, Doom. The necessary antecedent to gas pressure is a container to press upon. Yet you believe we have the gas pressure of our atmosphere against the vacuum of space without a container. Think about it. Oh, we know what we have there. We've got a little bit of a flat ski, earth ski guy. I love how I'm sitting here talking about big tech censorship and the reality of what's actually going on and the calling for more censorship, right? By both sides. By both sides calling for more censorship. Well, you didn't censor this. You should have. Well, you didn't censor that. You should have. Yeah, we should totally censor other nation states and their viewpoints on U.S. imperialism or any type of war crime. Assange, I mean, that wasn't even a thought. WikiLeaks, that wasn't even a thought. No. Is this whole thing a way to funnel money back to Barama? Obama, Biden, and Kerry from the Iran cash payments? No. Why is you all here? I thought we were supposed to be on Rockfin. Let me go check over there. You get a white screen. Oh, Gritch has the one comment in the stream. He's like, what's up? There are 3 viewers in there, but one of them was me. I don't know if Gritch is still there. Again, 11 a.m. But you can catch, again, I triple stream, guys. We triple stream. We do it big. And again, you know who's not going to censor me? Rockfin. It's a Russian dyslexia operation. Wang dangle is a medical term. It is a medical term, my friend. Jason, you should contact Russell J. Gould and do an interview before the election. Bring forward the chief. I don't know who Russell J. Gould is. Someone did mention that to me. I maybe have looked that up in the past. It slips my memory. Prison rules. Stab the Chomo LOL. Absolutely. You all left me hanging all by myself there on Rockfin. It's next to the doodles. Sorry. Jason, you should be apologizing to AJ. Always smearing his name and saying he's wildly speculating. SMH. Actually didn't, I think on the last broadcast, give him props for something. That's not true. Listen, I'm not going to go on another Alex Jones rant. I'm more than fair with Alex. If he's full of shit, I let you know. If he's right, I let you know. I never called for him to be deplatformed. I've always defended him for having a voice. I've always encouraged other media outlets. I've always said he mentored me, and the InfoWars operation he put together is extremely impressive. So I don't know what's going on here. So, and again, someone had me do like a Alex Jones fraud scale yesterday, and I said, he's better than like anybody in the mainstream media. Just saying. And again, that doesn't mean you should believe everything he says, obviously. I mean, that's goes without saying. I mean, if you see, he's obviously played that right-wing angle. I was watching him and Tim Dillon on Rogan. I think I'm like a little over an hour in. So far, not terrible. Pretty good. Pretty good. Probably going to watch the rest after this over a delicious steak and vegetables I cook upstairs. Steak and vegetables. Yummy. Yummy. You don't get that on every live stream. Steak and vegetables. What up? Why, if you fly east to west, does it not take twice as long as flying directly west to east if the Earth is supposedly rotating underneath you from west to east at 1,000 miles at the equator? Think about it. Facts and conspiracy. I think that'll be the last flat Earth troll quote we read, even if they're in there. They are trying very hard to muffle the Biden laptop case before election. Suppression is a tool to hide and cover up. It's just ridiculous to me. How can you deny it's out there? It's out there. And how can you call it Russian disinformation while the people that you're grilling are telling you it's not Russian disinformation? There's no evidence for that. You just say intelligence officials or intelligence community, and wow, the intelligence community. They've never lied to the public. It's their fucking job. It's their job to keep us safe in America, Jason. We need to censor everybody. I mean, come on. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that CIA. Yeah, we should totally trust them. The NSA, the CIA, the FBI. Christopher Wray has that laptop, and they're looking into it for money laundering for how long? Yeah, okay. And works with the Chinese government. Old Teddy Cruz into Dorsey today. It was pretty funny. He tried. His audio was awful. If you're going to go that hard, number one, make sure your audio's not awful. Number two, don't have a shaky webcam. It's hard to take you seriously enough with that beard. Let's be honest. We are the experiment. Excuse me. We are the experiment. The trials seem to be over. They have full control now. Laid into Dorsey. Oops. The word Zionist means you are one who believes Israel has the right to exist. That's old Zionism. That's original. That's pre-existing Zionism. I think you can be, you can say, look, we're not going to destroy Israel or get rid of it as a nation state without being the type of Zionist out there that is full spectrum dominance in the Middle East. Okay? That does want a military presence, not only by them, but by the United States, by their allies in places like Afghanistan, Iraq, would encourage us to go into Iran. That's how I look at it. Let's see. Zionism is cancer, Burmis. Libertarians stress the line between public and private, but I wonder what comes when the lines are blurred, private contractors and the like. Oh, I agree. Whoa, that's a big one. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we're there. Maybe we're there. Let's see. Libertarians stress the line between public and private. Oh, we already did that one. I think Ted Cruz did a great job going for the jugular. I think he was pussyfooting around it, and he made it about a left-right issue. Hey, everyone, Trump is the Zionist in chief. You can't argue with that. Again, when you talk about the military-industrial complex, you talk about Trump, you talk about Israel. I'll say this. Outwardly, he is unapologetically pro-Israeli policy, doesn't give Palestine an afterthought, imperialism, even those peace deals that could never get done. They don't even look at Palestine as a thing. Okay? That's massive oppression of people. 100%. The Jerusalem move, 100%. Saying the Golan Heights region is Israel's, when it's Syria's, and no one's ever said that? 100%. The only place that you could argue that he's not 100% Zionist in chief, right, Flick, is that he hasn't started any new wars. And he does seem to want to maybe get out of there. But when push comes to shove, he never stands up. He never talks about what really happened in Duma. He hasn't gotten us out of Syria. All right. These drawdowns in forces aren't really drawdowns. They're repositioning of military elsewhere. The huge deal with Saudi Arabia and arms. What's happening with Yemen. You know, the relationship with Sheldon Adelson. You know, I'd say let's say 97%. Can we give him 3%? Maybe he's not, like 3%. You got to understand, Kush is in there, man. The Kushner. Israel has no right to exist on someone else's land. Well, it's been a long time, man. Been a long time. I hate to tell you. That's going to be a tough one. Brown Dog. Hey there at Flickoff. How it is. Zionism means theft of Palestinian land. And Armenians are targets too, because Armenians are one of the minorities in Palestine. You could talk about the Armenian genocide, right? That you hear about by System of a Down. You know, Holy Mountain. You know, check out the Holy Mountain song. Oh, there it is. There's a big old jump. Wow. Ba 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 ba. Wow, we got a big old. Let's see. Wow, this is big. Good evening. Droid, alien, rockfin. It's next to Doodles. Apologizing. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Does the United States have a right to be on Indian land? I mean, again, you look how it's now been maneuvered with a lot of these Indians, especially in New York and in the Northeast and Connecticut, where you can have, you know, these resorts and different laws. There's a way to take advantage of that. It certainly does not excuse what some people's ancestors, they weren't my ancestor. You know, I'm not a first generation American. You know, we're talking, I'm just like pre-World War II, right around there. I think that's when my grandfathers, both of them got over here around pre-World War II. But, you know, what's done is done now. And at least they have autonomous governments on those lands. Now, let's be honest. Let's see. Trump is a time traveler. Janice, Gemini, man. I don't know about that. Time to correct the record. I'm going full 80s. But instead of Revenge of the Nerds, it's now Revenge of the Normal. I love me some Revenge of the Nerds. The original Revenge of the Nerds is, you know, a hot ticket, guys. That's a good one. That's a classic that stands up. We do live in an upside-down world. Kanye the Fool is presenting himself on Joe Rogan as the savior of the world. Oh, he's definitely going to be president in 2024, according to him. Nerds. Nerds! God is not a real estate agent. Any group that declares itself chosen is racist and supremacist. Yes, a witch hunt where they ask the wish if they are a witch. 100% Barbara. Ask the witch. DC likes these companies just the way they are. A control mechanism. Yes, Barbara. Witch. A Dem from Hawaii was saying this hearing is all about the election, as if there's no legit question that could be asked of the big boys. I know. Even when Klobuchar on the other side talked about the antitrust laws, it was barely there. It was garbage. Colonialism has stolen land throughout the globe. Correct. Imperialism, I like to call it. Manifest destiny. Hey, Gritch, I'm good. Just finished milking. It's beer time. Yeah? Let me ask you, Flick. I don't see you as one of those guys that gets the harvest beers. But anyway, I drink a lot of wheat beers. Blue Moon, I'm unapologetic about it, guys. I don't put the orange in it, but I like it. I like the wheat beer. I like the alcohol content. Smooth. And I'm telling you, it's not usually that, but I have the pumpkin harvest. I might have one of those after dinner. Maybe I'll have 2 pumpkin harvests after dinner and watch a movie. Pick a movie out, too. I mean, it's late. It's not that late. You know, I can still get up. Dinner, some pumpkin harvest. I know some people, in fact, if you didn't see the Bill Burr pumpkin harvest Sam Adams skit on SNL, it's probably the funniest thing I've seen SNL do in years. It's great stuff. But I like it. I like a little pumpkin during this time. You can shit on me for it, but I'm simple like that. All right. Let's see. Hirono is less than human. God makes a covenant with Israel, but they didn't keep their end of the bargain, so he kicked them out of the land. Nobody wants to talk about this. It's verboten. Again, I'm not a religious scholar. I certainly don't speak or read Aramaic. I don't speak or read many of the ancient texts, okay, going all the way back to the Epic of Gilgamesh and the explanations of the Anunnaki. I don't know much about what's going on. I barely know what's going on during my lifetime. And I do know that a lot of religious beliefs are wacky, and a lot of religious beliefs are skewed just from about all of them. And I'm not going to sit here and judge anybody because of that. That's how I feel about it. Trump did it. Mute that mic. When playing, we can hear chatter. What? What chatter? Exodus. Lots of land is stolen is all my point. Oh, let's see. Pretty sure the mic is actually picking up the Biden video as well as playing it through the stream. Yeah, that's probably true. That's exactly. You know what? That probably is true. Yeah. Well, probably was that. Sorry about that. Jason, search YouTube for any contact on Project Cassandra. Josh Mayer in Politica. Insanely underreported story. Trust Sessions. Yet his review of the program came back empty. Great deep dive vid. Project Cassandra. Man, I got to read. I got to check it out. I'll try to remember that. I will try. Let's see. Great spreader viruses. Yes. COVID, schmovid. To be clear, I'm voting for Sanjay. Biden is not capable of telling one truth. Biden is calling the kettle black. He has no plan. All he talks about is COVID because he has nothing else to fill the campaign cart. It's so cold. Might use my ballot for kindling or nah. Might as well. I'm voting only for Jesus Christ. Everybody has their weaknesses. Jesus and Elvis. Sanjay is the Sam AAA candidate. That mohawk is majestic. Hezbollah, FARC, Venezuela, Mexican drug cartels. I don't blame you, Jason. My grandpa was chief of the station at the CIA field site in Peru back in the early 90s. I can't even get him to read it. There is no pandemic based on the numbers. Mortality rate in 2029, 0.16%. And 2020, it's 0.015%. Smokescreen for global currency takeover. There's the Rockfin. What up, Doom? If you haven't heard the Biden Perry parode, I sniffed a girl and I liked it. Parody. You have to look it up. Hilarious. LOL. Law 9579, Title 50, Chapter 32, Section 1520, Chemical and Biological Testing to be allowed on civilian population of the U.S. Yes, that is true. That's out there. Droids, all of them. We are talking American Idol, right? I don't know where this is. Oh, man. Stop playing dumb. You know a certain tribal group controls everything. No, I don't. I think that's ridiculous, actually. I don't think the world works that way at all. Just letting you know. Wakanda. The Brigade rocks. Blue Man Group. How's your area acting, Jason? We're a town of 22,000, and it says we got 1,200 COVID, and I know maybe 10 have died. A woman has got it, and her husband was told she was being flown out of Nashville with COVID. Again, I left, but it was way overblown where I was in New York. Where I am right now, it's like no one's talking about it at all. It's a DARPA company. James Corbett mentioned a lifelong tie, which I agree with. I'm going to check right now and just see if anyone hit the GoFundMe. Nobody did, so I'm going to say this, guys. We're going to wrap this one up at about 40 minutes or so. I want to thank all of you for joining me here on the Big Tech Takeover AMA. It was a sham. It was calling for more censorship. That's the whole shebango. right? Oh, I didn't want to go over here. I want to go here. So if you can, $5, $10, $15, big donors, you mean the world to me. Guys, thumbs it up, subscribe, share, join the Bourbon Brigade, get people to come over to the Rockfin at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So when we go live and free Monday through Friday. And again, if they do censor me on YouTube, there's not many of us left. This is where I will be. So at least go make the free account over there. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order to Find, and yes, Shade the Motion Picture are free right now, right here in the playlist section. Go check them out. It's not about left or right. It is about right and wrong. Love you guys. See you on the flip.